How often do you learn something new and then you struggle to take action? If you do, you're not alone. Hi, I'm Callie, and I'm a health and life coach here at Thrive in Functional Medicine. And today I want to talk to you about how knowledge is potential power. And it's really easy to get caught up in learning more, listening to the latest fad, and not taking action. So today I want to give you some helpful tips about how to start taking action. So my first tip today is that you need to get some leverage. Now, leverage is something that helps you move in the right direction. And so one way to do that is really figuring out what your deep why is. So if it's that you want to get healthy, the deeper why to that is asking yourself that question 7 times and going 7 layers deep to figure out what's actually the deep why. What is it that you truly want? And lots of times when you ask yourself that question and get to that deep why, it's going to touch you emotionally because it's going to be very connected to you. Figuring out what your deep why is going to help you take action towards your goals. Number 2 is figuring out those big goals and then breaking them down into small actionable items. So many of us, when we're trying to reach new goals, want to go from 0 to 100 just like that, right? And that just makes us human for sure to want to be able to do that. But we have to break things down into small actionable items. So for example, if you're wanting to get healthier and increase your activity, you may need to start with, if you're not doing anything at all, you may need to start with just walking around the block. And then maybe it's walking a mile, and then maybe it is into 2 miles. But you have to start with something small that you can consistently complete and build that confidence in yourself. So small actions. Number 3 is habit stacking. Once you've figured out what that small action is, habit stack it on top of something that you already do. That's the easiest way to start incorporating new habits. So an example of habit stacking would be we brush our teeth twice a day, sometimes 3. So if you're wanting to incorporate something like a gratitude practice, habit stack that on top of teeth brushing. Every time you brush your teeth, you complete your gratitude practice. That's habit stacking, and that's a really way to incorporate something new. My 4th and final tip is that you need to celebrate along the way. So many of us will only celebrate once we reach our actual goal. And you need to celebrate along the way to keep giving yourself that momentum to continue working towards that goal. So take a moment, look back at where you started and celebrate those little victories along the way as you continue to work towards the person that you want to become. Remember, knowledge is potential power, and to have true power, you need to put it into action. So use some of my 4 tips today to start taking action towards a healthier, happier you today.